I did spend a few days with these pencils, working with these pencils. I do like to test them out after I do the swatching, just so I have a kind of a fair and balanced opinion on these pencils. This is Anastasia Koldareva's newest book, Exotica, and still have to do, I want to do her eye makeup, and I have to finish this succulent, which, where did I put that? Oh, this does come with a list of all the plants in the book. And I did look it up with the intentions of trying to copy it like realistically, but it didn't work out that way. So I'll pop up a picture of what it looks like in real life for you guys if you're interested. I ended up with this kind of ombre kind of look to it. So I thought we would color at least one of the leaves here in the video as like a little bit of a demonstration, so you can kind of get the idea of how these work and layer and everything. These are advertised, I believe, as an oil-based pencil. I don't think I mentioned that before. The Renoirs are also advertised as oil-based. I do think they probably are mostly oil, but they did also have a little bit of a waxy bloom in some instances, I felt. So I have, I think, about 8 colors I picked for the leaves here. I mentioned at the beginning of the video about this barcode. They all have the same barcode, so I don't think that it's meant for like a resale barcode. It's probably maybe their style number or model number or something like that. So let me not get sidetracked. The colors I'm using are yellow green 64, light turquoise 68, sky blue 15, dull lavender 320, lavender 303. I know it's a lot of colors. Lilac 37, burnt carmine number 92, and geranium red. What I am doing is, and the way I chose these colors, well, maybe let's do this one, is I tried to choose them. Well, I was originally going off the real life picture of this succulent, and these were the ones that I kind of picked that I thought worked well. I'm doing it in this color order just so the transition works to not muddy up some of the color. So it does kind of matter sometimes when you're doing something like this, like an ombre or like a rainbow effect, to make sure you're not putting 2 colors that are opposite each other, because then it wouldn't look too cute if you're trying to make a pretty flower. For skin colors, when you're doing skin, it might be, it's okay sometimes, because you can use like the red and the greens to kind of cancel each other out when you're doing skin and you want to kind of tone it down a little bit if you have too much red somewhere, or vice versa, too much like a purple and yellow cancel each other out. What else? Orange and blue cancel each other out. So that's why you kind of see like orange and blue in skin tone sets a lot. And next we're going to do this dull lavender. So now I kind of use the turquoise and the lighter blue kind of as a buffer color, I'd like to call it, in between the purple, when you're getting into the purple and the more reddish magenta-y colors. You might not even, maybe I should get down lower, because I am doing very light layers. And at first you might think it doesn't look very nice. That's often a lot of times when I started coloring and I didn't get the immediate results I was expecting. Like, this takes quite a few layers to build up to this color. So I might even speed this up. Now this is kind of, this lilac color is called lilac, but to me it's not really like a lilac. It's almost like a red violet or a violet red color, I think. So I'm doing that to transition into the reds. They're more red color. Burnt carmine. I kind of don't want it to be too much red. I want the red to be more closer to the top. And maybe this a little bit more of this lilac color. And then before I end up with this geranium red, I'm gonna just go over a little bit more with the other colors again. The turquoise into the green. I do think these are a firmer pencil than the Renoirs, but that being said, they are still, I do think they're soft. I think they might be softer than, say, the Polychromos pencils. Okay, so just a quick little demo with the pencils. I want to do some comparisons, and I'm going to use this coloring book from Hannah Carlson. This is a children's coloring book. In English, this translates to space. And I thought we would use this page with all these little aliens. I thought we'd do like one each in a different pencil. So I'm going to pick out some pencils from each set. So we're going to do these Marco tributes, we're going to do the Renoirs, and we're going to do the Polychromos. Okay, so I think we're going to start off with the Polychromos pencils first. And I'm going to do this little guy over here. Now, Polychromos pencils, what I think have in common just off face value with these Marco Tribute pencils is these are also cedar wood. And I think the diameter, the wood barrel diameter is about the same as well. Oops, I have this on inches. Yeah, so this measures, looks like 7.5 millimeters. So it's the same diameter barrels as the Tributes. These I think are 3.8 cores. Yeah, it's kind of coming out. Yeah, 3.8 cores for the Polychromos. So this is kind of like our litmus test, I guess, that we will be comparing everything else to. All right, so we got the Polychromos down. Let's try out we'll do the tribute pencils next. The tributes are a little bit thicker in core, so I do like that better. So that is points, personal points for me to the tribute pencils. Okay, so our first comparison between these two, I don't really think they are that similar, besides the fact that they're like a layering type of pencil. And looks-wise, they do look similar in style and design. I think they kind of wore down about the same amount. Probably the tribute a little bit more. I do think this is softer than the Polychromos. And I was pressing harder, I think, with the tribute than I had to with the Polychromos, even though they're different colors. Like, this probably needs more layers, an additional layer to it to look as nice as this one, where I only needed to do like one layer. These felt like a little bit more waxy, I would say, than these. This felt like the binders had something else going on in it, which I personally like better than this, the feel of these. And I felt like these were easier to work with than the Polychromos. That could be just personal preference, and because I don't really use these Polychromos pencils that often, I don't have that much practice with them. So keep that in mind. This is all purely based on my own personal preference, my own experiences. So since I don't really use these Polychromoses all that often, they're not my favorite to use. But just using these for the last few days, I really like these a lot. So I forgot to measure the tributes before I started coloring. So I'm going to do that now just to get it on the books. So the core is supposed to be 4.0. Let's see. It is, yeah, 4.0 millimeters, right on the money, I think. And the barrel, .5. So same barrel size as the Polychromos, a little bit thicker core. My vote so far is for the tribute pencils. So we're gonna do Marco Renoirs next. Okay, so I can't find info on what kind of wood these are made from, these Renoirs, but they're supposed to be 3.7 cores, so they're 3.7, and the barrel seems to be about 7.0 millimeters. And the description they have for these, it says, bright colors, mineral pen core. This pen core is delicate with moderate softness and smooth painting, excellent color mixing effect, easily build a colorful world. Okay, you guys, so my arm's getting super tired from doing all this coloring. So I think this is going to be the last comparison for today's video. And I'm actually kind of surprised because I was totally thinking this one was going to be my favorite just because of my past memories of coloring with these. But I don't think so. I think These two actually kind of had more in common than these two. They are softer than both of these pencils. These, I think, require more layers and blending to get like a nice smooth picture, because you can totally see, like you can see all the white spots still in there just with basically one layer. So my opinion, I like the Tributes the best out of the three we tried out today. The other pencils are good as well, but just based on my own personal coloring preference at the moment, I like the Tributes. I like them that they're nice and smooth. Of course, the Polychromos are light fast and higher quality pigments, artist quality pigments. I'm not making any artworks to sell or display anywhere. They're getting closed up into my coloring books or put away into a folder or something. I would go for the Tribute just for my own coloring pleasure. I like them. I would totally love to be able to get the 300 color set. I did see someone unbox that 300 set. It's really pretty. I'll see if I could find it and pop it in. It's not any talking, it's just the inside of the boxes. It's kind of like a larger version of the 80-piece set. It's like on a larger scale, that 300 set. So it looks really cool. It's very expensive, definitely novelty to have it, but you know, a girl can dream, can't she?